Hey everybody and welcome. This is Dr. Heather coming to you live from my office here at Carden Center for Wellness in Overland Park, Kansas. And if you are brand new to Ask Dr. Heather, this is a page where I help bring not only current amazing recipes, but also simple life hacks that help answer questions you want to know how to optimize your life to have the best health you can have. So we are in the midst of our 10-day Keto Basics series. So today is day 9. If you want to watch the other days, just simply scroll down. Our Keto Basics series is just the top 10 questions that you guys have asked me about ketones and ketosis. So one of the questions we hear all the time is, why am I having, this doesn't happen to everyone, why are you experiencing hair loss on a ketogenic diet? This can be happening for a few reasons. Not everyone experiences this, but certainly the people that do experience want to know why it's happening. So why it's happening, generally number one is actually stress. We know that on any lifestyle, any diet, that stress can actually cause hair loss. Why does that happen? Because your body is super focused on preserving important things like your heart and your brain and putting the energy towards there and not necessarily towards making nice fluffy hair. So no, the number one reason is generally stress. People get super stressed on what to eat, when to eat, what's the macros. They are going out with friends or having parties because honestly, let's refer to that. Sugar's super addictive and it's also our comfort food. So when you take away someone's comfort food, you take away a lot of their coping mechanism, it can cause tremendous amounts of stress. I know a ketogenic diet can often be, isolating because if you know you have a tendency to eat sugar, you want to go out, you want to grab a dessert, you want to have a fry, you want to have the chips and salsa, it can also just be in a huge emotional journey as you start to do that. Maybe you've had a health crisis that said, you've got to go on a low carb, you've got to cut out the sugar. Again, generally it's because of stress. It's not due to dietary changes. But however, it can actually be due to dietary changes if maybe you're not eating enough protein. Remember, on a ketogenic diet, we do moderate protein, which is about 15%. We know a lot of us have gut issues, so if we're not digesting our food properly, our body cannot take protein, break it down into amino acid, which is how we make hair and nails. So oftentimes it's because we're not either rotating our food. People go back to that white chicken breast 3 to 4 times a week and not rotate much else in there, or people overeat eggs, or they forget to have fish in there, they forget to have dark poultry. So you want to make sure you're rotating your proteins and having at least 15 to 20% of your diet in protein. So you can figure out those macros for yourself, but that can be a top reason why people may be experiencing hair loss. Is simply you're just not eating enough protein and maybe you're overeating fat, or third reason is that you can actually be doing a caloric restriction. When people get super confused on a ketogenic diet, oftentimes they're not eating enough. And when our body goes into a caloric restriction, it slows down the basal metabolic rate. And again, the body's in a conservation mode that says, I've got to save it for important things like my heart and my brain, and it's not necessarily focused on hair and nails. So if you are one of those people who you don't know what to eat, but you want to do a ketogenic low carb lifestyle, and then you think it's all about cutting calories, because when you cut the carbs, you want to make sure that's a fuel source, right? You want to make sure you replenish that fuel source with healthy fats, because we're going from a fuel source of ketones to glucose. So make sure that you don't do too restrictive on the calories too long, because that will absolutely cause some hair loss. It should be number 6 now. Sorry if I'm counting right. Number 4 would be a lack of biotin, which is also called vitamin F. I've got a supplement up there I was going to pull down that's called Luminous, which has a blend that people use if maybe you're experiencing alopecia or post-chemotherapy or even post-hysterectomy. People can notice hair loss, or andropause, men can notice hair loss. So there are some multi-minerals out there you can use, but biotin is actually called vitamin H. We use biotin when we're converting food to energy. So if you're on a calorie restricted diet and your body's not converting food anymore, it will actually conserve it, and again, not use it for nice, luscious, thick hair. It'll do just the conversely. We also know that biotin can be found in things like cauliflower, egg yolks. So yes, put the yolks back in the egg as a whole egg. Salmon, almonds, mushrooms, avocados are all super high in biotin. So make sure you're rotating those throughout the week in your diet and getting plenty of those. Number 6, leaky gut or gut issues. And sometimes hair loss can be a great thing that happens. So we know that sometimes pre-aging can be things like gray hair or hair not getting brittle and dry. How do we get new hair? Well, it has to get rid of the hair follicle, so the hair actually has to fall out in order to get new growth. So sometimes that first 3 to 6 to even 6 weeks to 6 months, that hair loss that you're experiencing is just dead, toxic, unwanted hair. We know that if you had a lot of hair coloring exposed to metals or heavy metals, that your body will actually dump them into the hair. hair. So if you've had a systemic yeast issue and you're using a ketogenic diet, a low sugar, no sugar diet, that some of that hair you're losing is not hair that you want to keep around anyway, because it's not very healthy. Just make sure you're being super mindful of new hair growth. So for ladies, you might say, oh, I'm getting thinner hair, I'm losing some hair in my hairbrush. However, I'm having to shave my legs more, I'm having more underarm hair. Men, the same thing, I'm having to shave more. That's new hair growth. So women, if you remember taking the prenatal vitamin, it's doing the same thing. So sometimes that hair loss is a good thing to get rid of the toxic hair that your body doesn't have. It's not very healthy, and then you'll get new hair growth. So just be a little patient with that. If that is the issue where you've had leaky gut issue, you've had heavy metal exposure, or you've had, again, candida, gut yeast, Lyme, something like that, that can cause a total gut mishap. But now, again, you get it all cleaned out and your body starts making brand new hair follicles out of the shaft, but just give it time and kind of monitor it. Most of the time people start to see new hair growth here around the crown, sometimes around the back, but pay attention to those other areas like your arms and legs and hair. That can tell you another story. We also know that collagen can be deficient if people go on a calorie restricted diet and you don't eat enough healthy fat. So if you cut the carbs but don't replace them with healthy proteins, you're not going to get the collagen, which comes from when you break down bones. So we know that if you're doing bone broth on a ketogenic diet, sorry, I messed up my hair, that will actually help your body, because collagen, again, is what helps make healthy hair. Bone broth, I call it God's Gatorade. I read somewhere today it's called liquid gold, so I've got some bone broth right there. But the big fat stuff that when you boil down, the cartilage, the ligaments, the bone, the collagen, that's what makes healthy hair. Collagen also helps elasticity of skin, so it helps a nice trigger pressure of skin, and the collagen also helps joint and mobility flexibility. Zinc is also super important. So if you've had a significant, so this would be number 7 if we're counting, if you've had a significant fat loss, we've lost 20, 30, 40, 50 pounds, we know that you also lose essential nutrients and electrolytes. Like you can lose zinc and magnesium, potassium, iodine, all those minerals that actually help make healthy hair. So the good news is that if you give your body time and you eat the proper macros and you get moderate amount of protein, rotating those protein, your hair actually should grow back in and be nice and healthy. Because you'll hear people who've been fat adapted for a long time saying, I can't believe how amazing and how thick my hair is. You know, in the beginning, I had some hair loss and experienced that, but now I've got the macros down right. My body's doing an amazing job. So just listen to your body. I know a lot of people focus on the brush or the shower. Look at some of those other areas, whether it even be eyebrows, things like that, where your body's growing more hair. So hopefully this helps answer, again, top 10 questions on our Keto Basic Keto Life series of why you could be experiencing hair loss. You can tell I'm super thirsty today. That could be our number 10 question. Why am I always thirsty on a ketogenic diet? We know that, again, number 1 is stress. Identify the stress. If this is a lifestyle you want to leave, do not make the diet be your number 1 stress issue and causing hair loss or causing gut issues. That may not be worth it for you to be ketogenic. Maybe it's just better that you eat low carb, have a little bit more flexibility, and you don't stress so much about the diet. Again, make sure you're getting enough protein in your body. This is, again, not the Atkins, which is high protein, but moderate amount, which is 15 to 20%. Rotate, rotate, rotate. If you've had gut issues, get with a healthcare practitioner. Make sure that you're taking the right prebiotic, probiotic, digestive enzyme, gallbladder support, spleen support, amylase, lipase, whatever support you may be needing. That can also play a major factor as your body breaks down the proteins as you rotate through the different categories. Remember, proteins are things that used to walk or have eyeballs. I know fish don't walk. Somebody told me that last week. But they do have eyeballs. Make sure you're rotating through that. Even the American Heart Association says make sure you're having, 3 to 4 servings of fish a week. Again, eat things that are rich in collagen like bone broth, and make sure that if you have had a significant weight or fat loss, that you have your doctor just simply check your comprehensive metabolic panel, check your mineral balance, check your sodium level. There's a zinc tally test that your doctor can perform to see if you're deficient in zinc. There's also other signs and symptoms you can tell if you're deficient in zinc, which can be prematurely graying of hair, having little white dashes on your fingernails can do the same. But a simple blood test will tell you if you're low in potassium, low in magnesium, low in iron. All those things tell us that your body actually needs more macronutrients, more minerals in there. And again, it doesn't happen in the first 4 or 5 days. It doesn't happen in one day or a weekend. It generally happens when people start to hit that 20 to 25 pound fat loss, because as the ketones or your body starts to pull toxins and water out of the fat cells, it also pulls those essential nutrients. So again, number 1 reason people lose hair on any lifestyle change happens to be stress. So identify what that stress is. If the diet and the lifestyle change is causing the stress, please, please consider rethinking it, or work with someone who can guide you through that and make this a super easy lifestyle. Oftentimes you will hear people say who've been fat adapted, this diet, this lifestyle has given them the freedom. They're not eating 6 times a day anymore. They're not having cravings. They're simply eating when they're hungry, and they're stopping when they're full. And that's really how it should be, that you're eating nutrients to replenish your body, to make your body nice and healthy, and to have that optimal health that you want. So thanks again for joining me, guys. Please hit the share button down below, share a friend, tag a friend. This is meant to be shared. If you are brand new, there is a link up above to my blog, which is AskDrHeather.net. You can download your free guide to kickstart your day in the right way. There's an amazing grocery list or food list there. There's also some breakfast ideas to get some nice healthy fats and rotate your breakfast, because rotation is super important as you begin to change your lifestyle. And remember, listen to your body, listen to your bowels, listen to your hair. If it's telling you things, and it's probably telling you might need a little bit of attention. So this is Dr. Heather saying have an amazing evening. Tomorrow will be our number 10. So we're completing our 10-day Keto Life series or Keto Basic series. And then what we're going to do on my Thursday night, which is at 7:30 Central Standard Time, we're really going to deep dive in. These are meant to be 5 to 10, 8 minutes, not much longer than that. We're going to do a good 20 minutes on thyroid health, allergy health, diabetes, those top questions you guys have asked me. This basic series is simply about living a ketogenic life or a low carb, no sugar lifestyle. Then we'll deep dive into certain hormonal issues or lifestyle diseases. So have a great evening, guys, and please don't forget to share the button, and please don't forget to subscribe to AskDrHeather.net. Have a great night, guys.